I heard his name before I saw his face. Ryan Ashford. One of Rex's men said it by accident. They stopped talking the moment they remembered I was listening. Too late. I already had it. Rex had started bringing me to meetings, not to participate, to sit in the corner and be looked at. Something rare he wanted people to see. I sat. I watched. I counted exits. Then Ryan walked in, and the whole room shifted. The men at the table straightened without realizing it. Rex's jaw tightened. Ryan's eyes moved around the room, quick, methodical. Then they found me. 1 second. He didn't stare, didn't react, just registered me and moved on. But in that 1 second, something happened. Rex looked at me like something he owned. Ryan looked at me like I didn't belong here. One look. That's all it took. I told myself it meant nothing. He's connected to Rex. Everyone in that room is dangerous. Trust no one. I almost believed it. 3 days later, the library. Rex used it to keep me occupied without making the cage look like a cage. Ryan walked in and stopped when he saw me. I didn't know anyone used this room, he said. Neither did I, until they put me in it. Something moved across his face. Not pity. Something more careful than that. Any good? He nodded at my book. Terrible. But it's something to do. He almost smiled. He chose a book, sat by the far window, far enough to not crowd me, close enough to not be avoidance. We read in silence for 20 minutes. It was the most peaceful 20 minutes I'd had since the alley. When he stood to leave, he said, without looking at me, "You don't have to stay here. Rex." I'm not talking about Rex. He looked at me then, direct, calm, nothing hidden. What you want still matters. He left before I could answer. I sat there for a long time after, holding a terrible book I hadn't been reading, feeling something I had no name for. We kept meeting in the library, always unplanned, always quiet. He never asked about Rex, never asked what I was, never pushed. He just showed up, left space. And slowly, against every instinct I had, I started talking. Then one evening he asked, "Where would you go, if you could go anywhere?" "Somewhere quiet," I said. "Trees, no cameras, no guards." "I know a place like that. Everyone says that." "I own it," he said. "North of the city. 2 hours. No one would bother you there." The wolf in my chest did something it had never done around anyone but me. It went still. Not forced. Not suppressed. Just peaceful. I didn't trust it. But I felt it. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. "Because you look like someone who hasn't had a real choice in a long time," he said. "I think you should know one exists." That night I heard something I wasn't supposed to. Rex's voice. End of the East Corridor. "Ashford has been building against us for 8 months. You think he knows about the project?" Silence. "He knows enough." "And the wolf?" My blood went cold. "Leo stays where he is. Ashford doesn't get near him." "What if he already has?" I didn't wait to hear the answer. Measured steps back to my room. Nothing that would show on camera. I sat down. Ryan wasn't random. Their worlds were already connected, already in conflict. The library, the quiet conversations, the careful distance. Had any of it been real? Or was I just moving from one man's game board to another? Think. Don't feel. Think. 4 days later, I lost control. Rex had called me to his office, spent an hour reminding me, quietly, precisely, what I was in this building. Not a guest, not a person, a thing he had acquired. No threats, no raised voice, just clinical. Exact. The way you speak to something you own. I held it together until the corridor. Then the wolf came. I made it to the library, pushed the door shut, and lost the fight I'd been winning for weeks. Ryan was already there. He turned and saw everything. No time to hide. No way to walk it back. I froze. Ryan didn't move. I didn't step back. Didn't reach for anything. Just still. Completely still. 5 seconds. 10. Then he set his book down slowly and said, "Then stop hiding." 3 words. 2 years of running. 2 years of making myself invisible. 3 words undid something I didn't know was wound that tight. The wolf settled. Not because it was forced to, because for the first time, it felt safe. I stood there breathing. Ryan stood there watching. Neither of us spoke. Then, "Are you all right?" Not "what are you?" Not "how is that possible?" "Are you all right?" I laughed. Short, broken. "No," I said. "Not even a little." "Okay," he said. Just that. He picked his book back up, sat in his chair, left the other one empty the way he always did. I sat in it. We didn't talk about what he had seen, didn't talk about Rex, didn't talk about any of it. We just sat. And for the first time since the night I lost everything, I didn't feel alone. I almost let myself believe that meant something. Then my phone buzzed. No name, no number. 4 words. He knows about Ryan. I looked up slowly. Ryan was already watching me, like he had been waiting for this exact moment. "Leo," he said quietly, "there's something I need to tell you." My chest went cold. "How long?" I said. He didn't ask what I meant. That told me everything. "How long have you known about me?" The library was very still. Ryan set his book down. "Since before the alley," he said. The wolf in my chest stopped being peaceful. I stood up. "Leo, don't." My voice came out quiet, controlled. "Don't say my name like that. It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" He looked at me for a long moment. "I was trying to get to you before Rex did," he said. "I was 8 days too late." 8 days. 8 days, and my entire life would have been different. I looked at this man who had sat quietly in a library and left space and asked, "Are you all right?" and made the wolf go peaceful for the first time in 2 years. And I didn't know. I genuinely didn't know whether he was the best thing that had happened to me since this started, or just the second trap. I didn't sleep that night. I lay on the bed and stared at the ceiling and turned it over and over until it was worn smooth. Since before the alley. Ryan had known about me before Rex took me. Before the alley. Before the city. Before any of this. 2 men. Both knew I existed before I knew either of them. One built a cage. One said, "You don't have to stay here." But what if that was just a better cage? What if quiet and careful and "are you all right" was just a smarter way to own something? I pressed my hand flat to my chest. The wolf was restless, not afraid, just waiting. Ryan came to the library the next morning, earlier than usual. He walked in and looked at me and didn't pretend, didn't smile, didn't perform calm, just sat down, leaned forward, hands open on his knees. "Ask me whatever you need to ask," he said. I looked at him for a long moment. "Why were you looking for me?" "Because Rex was looking for you first," he said. "And I knew what he planned to do with what he found." "How did you know about the project?" "I found a file 8 months ago. Someone inside Rex's operation sent it to me anonymously." He paused. It had names, cities, dates, people being tracked, documented, collected. Another pause. "Your name was at the top." My chest tightened. "So you came to find me." "I came to warn you," he said. "Before Rex got there first. I was building a case, evidence, financial records, everything I needed to dismantle what he was doing completely." His jaw tightened. I was 8 days too late. "And the library?" I said. "The conversations, The place with the trees. He looked at me steadily. Real. How do I know that? You don't, he said simply. Not yet. I can't hand you certainty, Leo. I can only tell you the truth and let you decide what to do with it. The room was very quiet. I thought about every person who had ever wanted something from me, every city I had run to, every door I had put between myself and the world. I thought about the wolf going peaceful, not forced, not suppressed, just safe. Animals don't go peaceful around threats. They go peaceful around truth. Okay, I said. Ryan looked at me. Okay? I believe you, I said. Don't make me regret it. Something moved across his face. Not relief exactly. Something quieter than that. Like a door opening in a house that had been shut for a very long time. Or Rex called for me that afternoon. I already knew what was coming. His office was colder than usual. He was standing at the window, back to me, hands clasped behind him, the performance of a man in complete control. You've been spending time with Ryan Ashford, he said. Yes, he turned around. I told you to stay away from him. You told the guards, I said. Not me. His eyes moved over my face, that taking apart look, searching for fear, not finding it. Something shifted in his expression. He's using you, Rex said. Whatever he told you, whatever he made you feel, it's a strategy. You are a piece in something larger, and he is moving you deliberately. I know about the files, I said. Silence. All of them, I said. Every name, every city, every person you've been tracking. I kept my voice even. Like, I know the alley wasn't an accident. I know you built that moment. I know you've been watching me for 2 years. Rex didn't move. You came into my life as a rescue, I said. You were never a rescue. I kept you safe. You kept me contained, I said. There's a difference. You know there's a difference. He crossed the room. Slow, deliberate, stopped close. You belong here, he said quietly. Whatever you think you feel about Ashford, that's not real. What's real is what you are. What I found, what I've been protecting. Protecting, I said, or owning. Leo, I'm leaving, I said. His hand came up, and the wolf came with it. Not like in the library, not the quiet settling of something finally safe. This was different. This was 2 years of running, 2 years of hiding, the 2 years of compressing something enormous into something small enough to survive with. All of it releasing at once. The light in the room changed. Rex stepped back. For the first time since the alley, for the first time since the moment he had looked at me across that dark space and seen something he wanted, Rex stepped back. The wolf didn't rage, didn't destroy. It just stood. Fully. Completely. Without apology. And Rex, for all his control, for all his precision, for all his years of building a world where everything bent to his will, looked afraid. I am not yours, I said. My voice was steady. Completely steady. I was never yours. Ryan was waiting outside, not alone. 3 men with official credentials stood behind him. Financial authority, on the kind with enough weight to dismantle empires quietly and completely. Ryan looked at me first, checking. Are you all right? I nodded. He turned to the men behind him. It's all there. Every account, every file, every name. He handed over a drive. Small, plain, the kind of thing that looked like nothing and contained everything. The project, the tracking operation, the shell companies. A pause. All of it. The men went inside. Rex's empire didn't fall loudly. It just stopped. The way things stop when the foundation has already been gone for months, and the building simply hasn't realized it yet. We stood outside on the pavement. Morning air, City sounds. Normal life happening everywhere around us like none of this had just occurred. Ryan stood beside me, not touching. Just there. The place with the trees, I said. Still available, he said. 2 hours north. 2 hours north. I looked at the building one last time. The cage dressed as a home. The beautiful prison I had learned every corner of. I felt nothing. Not anger. Not grief. Just the clean, specific lightness of something finally finished. I turned away. I have one condition, I said. Ryan looked at me. Don't make decisions for me, I said. Don't manage me. Don't protect me from things without telling me. I held his gaze. I've spent 2 years being handled by people who thought they knew what was best for me. I'm done with that. Agreed, he said. Just that. No negotiation. No conditions attached. Just, yes. Like it was the easiest thing he had ever said. The wolf in my chest went completely still. Peaceful. Real. We walked. No guards behind us. No cameras above us. No doors deciding how far we were allowed to go. Just 2 people on a morning pavement choosing the same direction. I didn't look back. For the first time in 2 years, I had absolutely no reason to. I came to the city to disappear. I survived a Mafia boss who hunted me. I was saved by a man I almost didn't trust. And I found out the hardest way possible. That the thing I spent 2 years hiding was never something to be ashamed of. It was the most powerful thing about me. I just needed someone safe enough to show it to. If this story found you, save it. Share it. Send it to someone who needs to be reminded that being seen fully by the right person is not a threat. It's the beginning of everything. Follow for the next story. It's already coming. And it hits harder than this one.